Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Unifred, and if you are new here, I create crochet content tutorials, and thank you for clicking on this video. So today for this project we'll be using milk cotton yarn. This is the color I used, and then my secondary color is this. Both of these yarns are 5-ply. So I'll be doing a demo of the skirts just to show you how I did it, because I just finished the skirts. So we'll be starting with our color A. This comes in a bit later. So I'm not going to be doing the actual skirt, I'll just be doing a demo. So you are going to measure your waist. Okay, let me bring in the skirts for a while, and we'll be using a 5.5mm crochet hook and a 6mm crochet hook. So I'll tell you when to use when, but we'll be starting with a 5.5mm crochet hook. So you're going to get your waist measurement. So this is the skirt. I haven't finished the down back part, but I finished the top. I'll be showing a clip of how it looks. So you're going to take your waist measurement, and you're going to start with a double crochet foundation chain. So you make a slip knot. After you make a slip knot, you will chain up 3. Sorry, chain up 2. Yarn over and into the first hook, into the first chain from the hook. You set your hook, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Pull through only 1 loop. Now we're going to pull through the 2 loops, and then pull through the remaining 2 loops. So now you have your first double crochet foundation chain, yarn over, and now you have some loops created over here. Insert your hook into that loop, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Pull through 1 loop. Now you pull through the remaining 2, then you pull through the remaining 2. So go ahead and repeat this. Sorry, I had to change my rings because it was messing with the yarn grabbing. So for the last time, yarn over, insert your hook into the loop you create over here. Pull through 1, then pull through 2 loops and pull through 2 loops. So you're going to do this to cover your measurements. I did 70. I counted 70. So like I counted by this 1, 2, 3. You will see the double crochet spaces to count. So I'm going to do just a few just to show you, so that I can do a demo of a cute little skirt. So go ahead and do this, and then get your waist measurement when stretched. Emphasis on when stretched, because you can wear the skirt from upwards. You want the waist to be tight, not too loose that you'll be using your drawstring to be attached to be adjusting it. So when stretched, I beg, when stretched, let it be your waist measurement, because this is a stretchy foundation chain. So I'm going to do a few. So go ahead and do up to your waist measurement. So I'm back, and I have 17 double crochet foundation chains. So when you stretch it, it should reach your waist measurement. So after you stretch it, now you make sure it reaches your waist measurement. We are going to be joining it. So remove your hook, insert your hook into the first loop over here, and then you pull the yarn through, and then you insert your hook into the next loop by it, the next space you see, or around where the slip knot is, and insert your hook into the other space, the loop over here, to close up. Make a single crochet. So after this is it. So this is going to be our back side. So you chain up 3. So the skirt is here. This is it. So you chain up 3 immediately. You're going to be using triple double crochet. So you chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the very first stitch. The 3 counts as a triple crochet. So you're going to go in there with a triple crochet. So you yarn over twice. Insert your hook in there. Pull through. So you put through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. So it's like doing a double crochet, but you're yarning over twice. So yarn over twice, and into the next stitch, go in there with 2 triple crochets. So we are increasing in every stitch. So this is 1, and this is 2. So you can weave in your ends as you are going along. So we are going to be increasing in every stitch. So the next stitch, I'm going to go in there with 2 triple crochets. I'll be giving you the measurements at the end of the video or as I go along. So go ahead and finish your row and increase into every loop. I forgot to increase this, so I'm going to go back in there and increase it. Don't forget to yarn over twice and go in there. So for the 5.5mm crochet hook, I use it till I got to about row 5, and my stitches here are tight. But if you want the skirt to be extra loose, you can go ahead and start with your 6mm crochet hook. I prefer this part to be a little tighter before I get my loose ruffle edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I use the 5.5mm crochet hook. So go ahead and then repeat and then increase in every stitch. As you can see, I increase in every stitch over here. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my demo. So I'm back, and since this is a demo, I'm not going to be completing the actual thing as we go along. So this is it, and you join into the first loop with a slip stitch. So this is my bar side. So I'm just going to be turning it because it's very annoying to working on the bar side. So chain up 3 again. When you chain up 3, turn your work. This project we are always going to turn our work. So yarn over twice, and now into the next stitch, you're going to go in there with 1 triple crochet. So into every other stitch, we are done increasing. We are not increasing for now till we get to row 5. So for this row, this is row 2. We are not going to be counting our foundation chain. So this is row 2, 1, 2. So for row 2, you are going to be going to each stitch with just 1 triple crochet, and then when you get to the end of the row, you just join with a slip stitch and continue for till you get to row 5. When you get to row 5, come back, and then I'll show you how it looks like when I join and begin a row, and then I'll tell you what to do at row 5. So go ahead and repeat row 2 till you get to row 5, but I'll show you how to end your row one last time. So for now, just go around with just 1 triple crochet in every stitch. So I'm at the end of row 2. When you get to row 2, your stitch will always be looking like this, like it's crumpling up down there. If you are not too comfortable, then you can chain 4, but I don't mind because once I join with a slip stitch, it looks straightened up, so it's not a big deal. So for row 3, you chain up 3 again, and you turn your work. And then you go ahead into the next stitch. Remember, we are counting our chain 3 as a triple crochet. So yarn over twice. I sometimes forget to yarn over twice because I've always been doing double crochet. So go ahead and repeat this so you get to row 5. So now let me show you. This is where my joining and beginning row is, and then it looks a little bit straight because I always turn. So don't forget to turn your work, and I'm going to be giving you the measurements up to row 5. I put a stitch marker here to allow me to know where stitch 5, row 5 ends. So we have about 5 inches. That's where row 5 ends. So when row 5 ends, we are going to be doing something different. We are going to be making the step. So for the step, when you are done with row 5, this is row 6. This is row 6. For the row 6, you are going to be working in the front loop only for row 6. So for row 6, let's assume I'm on row 6. So I have my rows. I have up to row 5, which is 5 inches. If you want your step to be exactly on your hip or by your hip, you can do it up to 5 inches. Or if you have a longer waist, just calculate from your waist to where you want your step to start from, not end, to start from. Then you end your foundation chain. So at this point, I'm going to ditch 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and go for a 6 millimeter crochet hook. And for the 6 millimeter crochet hook, loosen your tightness. Don't crochet too tight. So this is row 6. So for row 6, you still chain up 3, and then you are going to go into the front loop. No, instead of going into the 2 loops, no, you're going to go into just the front loop, because later on you're going to be crocheting into the back loop. That's how come we have this step here. So you're going to crochet, make it loose because you want that skirt to be ruffly. So for row 6, you're going to be triple crocheting for 10 stitches, and then you increase in the 11th stitch. Don't forget, this part is very important. So crochet, make 10 triple double crochets, and in the 11th stitch you increase, you make 2 triple crochets into the same space, and then you repeat that to get to the end. And then when you get to the end, no matter how many stitches you are left with at the end here, if you are left with 5 stitches or 7 or 3 stitches, please in the last stitch increase, because there's a huge gap here, else your skirt will be looking straight from this side. So I'll show you what I mean. So when we are counting this, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, remember, front loop only, 8 9 and 10. Please crochet loosely so that your ruffle will come out. So I have 10, right? I'm going to count again to be sure. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yes, because we count our chain 3 as a triple crochet. So in the 11th stitch, I'm going to be increasing. So this is my first triple crochet, and into the same stitch I'm going to go in there with another triple crochet. So I'm going to grab my row 5, so that row 6, so that you can see it. So this is row 5, and then this is row 6. So here you can see the increase, right? I'm going to go from this increase 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then you can see the increase again. So increase after every 10 stitches, very very important, so that the step is ruffled more. I call that a step. I don't know what that is called, because I call this skirt a 2 sister skirt or 2 step skirt. So for row 6, crochet, make 10 stitches, and then into the 11th stitch you make your increase. Remember, we're working into the front loop only. That step is also very very important. So we have, this is our increase. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and then we have 10. So this gets, I did a lot of try and error. That's why I'm doing a demo, because I'm really exhausted from trying and trying again. So forgive me, guys, and I hope this explanation is very easy for you to understand. So I have my increase here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in the 10th, I'm going to be increasing. So after this, go ahead and finish up your row and meet me back at the end of row 6. This is row 6 if you're going according to my same measurements. So I'm at the end of this row, and then what I was talking about is, no matter how many stitches you are left at the end, you still increase into the last stitch. And luckily enough, I got it to the last stitch exactly, and I'm increasing. So for my skirt, I was left with about 7 stitches, and then I still went in to the last stitch with an increase. It's very necessary. So after you join with a slip stitch, right? So supposed to give you a more roughly edge like this. So you successfully done row 6, and then you're going to be doing row 7 and 8. Row 7 and 8, the measurement for just a step is 3 inches. Actually, don't count in the nude color, so it should be like 3 inches, give or take. So from the waist, right, from the waist to the step is 7.5 inches, and this adds up to 8 inches. So I have 8 rows in total over here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8. The 6 rows when you work into the front loop, and then 7th and 8th you just go around without increasing or anything. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So after row 6, chain up 3, turn your work, and triple crochet into every stitch, and you repeat that for another row. So I have 8 rows in total for just that particular row. So I'm going to complete this row of camera, and then we start with the second half. With the second half, I'll start counting afresh from row 1, just so you are not confused. So if you want to go according to my measurements, I gave you my measurements earlier to the steps, so you can rewind and watch the measurements. For this one, I'm just completing this row for demonstrative purposes, and then we start with the second step, which is, I take the skirt away because the camera keeps on losing focus when it's at the background. So when you are done with your 8th row, we are going to do this at the end of the whole project, so not yet. And then we start making this part. So this part is made up of 10 rows. 10 rows, and I'll give you the measurements when I come back. So I'm left with the last stitch. Remember, you're actually going to go in here. Oh, don't miss this. I will be reducing your stitches unknowingly. So after, you're always going to join in that loop or in that loop, not in the chain 3. So I'm done. I have 8 rows, just like the skirt, assuming, because this is a demo. So we are going to count again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I did 8 rows, and I already did the measurements, but let me just give the measurements again. So the whole thing in total is 8 inches, and this is like 8.5, 7.5 inches the waist. Without the nude color, I mean. So we're going to be now working in the back loop we left, and I did 3 rows of just triple crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th row I'll be doing something different. I'll also be, when we get there, so I'm going to, because I have 2 steps here, we are not going to count the steps down here. So you're going to do row 1, 2, 3. it's going to be the same as what you see up here. I don't know if you get what I mean. So like, assuming you've cut off your yarn, I'm really going to use this yarn for something else. And I think this whole thing I used about 300 grams because this is the leftover. I used 2 of these and it's 200 grams. And I'm thinking 300 grams give or take. So assuming I've cut off my yarn, I'm not going to really cut off. I'm going to start here and look for where your starting chain is. Insert your hook carefully. Then you're going to insert your yarn, chain up 3. Since you are now starting the row, there's no need to turn your work. So now when you chain 3, yarn over twice and start working into the back loop with your triple crochet into every stitch. So now I'm working into the back loop that we left earlier because we worked in the front loop. Because I did 3 rows of that, I'm going to do, because I did 3 rows of the step, I did 3 rows of that before I started my new increase. Because any changes you do will not show because this covers this up. I don't know if you understand what I mean. This covers this up. So whatever change you're doing in here, it won't show. So it has to be exactly the same. So just do your triple crochet all the way around. And for my demo, I did 2 steps. So I'm going to be doing it twice. So go ahead and just work in your back loop. Every back loop you go in there with your triple double crochet. Just yarn over twice and go in there. So I'm meet you at the end of this row. When you are done with this row, join with a slip stitch, chain 3, and then repeat the process to cover up your step. It's very important. So this is the waist. You're working inward so that when you lift, you still see the same results. So I'm at the end of row 1 for the down step. I'm going to start counting afresh. So that's row 1 for the down step. Then after you get your loop, you go ahead and make row 2. So I made 3 rows of the step. So I just repeated the same thing for 3 times. So go ahead and do the same thing if you're going according to mine. But if you made your step longer, just know that the number of rows you're doing here should be the same number of rows for when you started your row 6. It should just be the same number of rows basically. So I'm at the end of my row 2 for the second step. So I'm gonna go to the right side. So you see that it has the same length as the first step. Please pardon me if I'm calling it wrong. See, it has the same row. So that's why you have to make it the same. So at this point, I'm just going to be writing the instructions on the screen. So it's on the screen because it is very repetitive. So for row 3 or for your next row, that now will be seen just like this place. This row was seen. For this row, you are going to repeat what you did for row 6 at the top. So for the row that will be seen, meaning the next row after you have your same length, you triple crochet 10 times, make 10 triple crochets, and in the 11th you increase. Make 10 triple crochet and then the 11th stitch you increase. So when you increase in the 11th stitch and then you are done with that row, which is row 3, I'm using the actual skirts 1, 2, 3. So row 4 is the row that I increased. So you can see the increase stitch. You can see one increase stitch here. If I count 10 backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see another increase. This is what the increase looks like. So after this increase, you are not going to increase again. So this is row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for row 5 to 10, you're just going to be triple crocheting in every stitch without increasing, and then that's it, and then you're done with the skirt. This skirt is very easy. I use just a day to get this, but I use about the whole week from Monday to Friday to figure out how to get this skirt the way it is for me right now, how I like it. I actually wanted it a little bit shorter, but I like this length. I was going to make it 9 stitches, but I was like 10 stitches is good because remember this, I've counted this row separately from the row up here. So the row up here is 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows. I'm not counting the nude one. So that's 8 rows. And then for here is 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But technically 3 is covered. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows that is seen. So that's fair enough. And then for the app you have like 5 rows before you start your step. I don't know if you understand the logic. So the whole skirt is equal to 14 inches. So that's the whole skirt. It's almost 14 inches actually. So from the step downwards, from where the step starts to here, you can see 9.5 inches. So when you're done with your skirt, you can leave it like that, but you won't really see the liveliness of the dress or how nice the dress is. So you're going to be adding a color B. So for the color B, I haven't done this part just to show you how to do it. So I'm going to grab my yarn. So this is my yarn. And remember, we are still using our 6mm crochet hook. So I'm going to look for where I begin and end my row. I'm going to look for it. It's pretty easy to find. Oh, I didn't even weave this in, so it's easy to find. Make sure I'm crocheting from the right side. Make sure you're crocheting from the right side. So I'm going to turn it to face me, right? So when you turn it to face you, I'm going to insert my hook in here, this very first loop, because it's really hard to get in between this loop. So I'm going to insert your hook, and then you just make a knot just to secure it. So after you secure the knot, insert your hook into that same loop again, pull through, and then you chain 2, 1, 2. So after you chain 2, I'm going to weave in this end. So I'm going to yarn over to the next stage. I'm going to go in there with a double crochet. This time we're not doing triple crochet, you're just doing a double crochet to give our skirt a finished edge. So go ahead and double crochet all the way to the end. So I'm going to be doing this, and then I'll meet you when you get to the end of this row. So just double crochet in every stitch. So I'm at the end of my double crochet row. All you have to do is to join with a slip stitch like what we've been doing, chain up 1, and then you cut off your yarn and you pull through. So I'll weave this in later. So the skirt is done, and for the waistband, I kept on wearing it and I didn't like how loose it was, so I actually added a single crochet at the top. So you can choose to go around with a single crochet at the top to make it a little bit tighter. And for this, I made about 170, 180 chains and just adjusted it. Just kept only one hole, and then just pushed it in and out, in and out, and then there you go, you have your skirt. So everything is equal to about 14 inches. So this is a skirt. So every time I'm getting different inches because it's stretched, but it's actually up to 14 inches. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm sorry it's a demo, but this skirt is very simple and self-explanatory. I'll just put the description at the top. And if you don't have enough yarn, forgot to mention, if you don't have enough yarn, the triple crochet, you can make triple crochet, chain 1, make a triple, and then you can make, when you are starting a row, chain 3, make a triple crochet, chain 1, skip 1, make a triple crochet, chain 1, then you skip and make a triple crochet if you don't have space, but if you don't have enough yarn. But if you have enough yarn, you can do this. And for the ruffly parts, the second ruffly part, the first one compulsory to increase in every stitch. The second part is not compulsory to make 10 stitches before you increase. You can, if you want it to be more roughly, you can make 5 stitches then you increase. You can make 6 stitches then you increase, 7 stitches then you increase. Depends on how many stitches you want. I forgot to mention that I wanted it to be 10 stitches then I increase. And I like the way the skirt turned out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.